I am pleased to report the state of our game is stronger than a year ago and growing stronger each day.
State of the union is strong.
That the state of our is strong.
It is that time of the year again, time for the State of the Union address that takes place next Tuesday, February 5th, and I am a complete political nerd. I love government, I love current events, I love politics. Some people probably don't even know what the State of the Union is, but it's something that I find fascinating. Sometimes I even take notes. I know, bite me. But since we're going to have the State of the Union address, let's talk about the state of the game. I'm going to preface it with this. CG, we all have disagreements. We don't like some of the things they do, but honestly, they have the best public relations campaign and group of people that communicate with their players and fan base ever. If they do something that we don't necessarily like, they always tell us why they're doing it. They don't hide behind anything. Like I've had some opinions about like the way Revan came out and stuff like that, and I'm going to continue to have those opinions because that's just kind of what I do. But honestly, there's no game I've ever played that has a better group of people that communicate with their fan base and players and listen to them. They listen greatly to us. And that's huge, and that's why their game is strong. The state of their game is very strong. We're going to break down every single aspect of the game and where it's at right now. We're going to talk about characters, the different game modes, and we're going to start with Squad Arena. Now, some people do not like Squad Arena right now because it's very Revan dominant. You have some Revan teams, you have some Traya teams, and then a CLS team that can creep up there every once in a while. But Revan is mainly the dominant team. If we go through the ranks here, and most of you know this, we're just going to scroll down. Revan, Traya, Revan, 1 CLS, Revan, oh, there's a Talzin team that's stuck in. Well, what that means is that people that got Revan the first time around, it was kind of a paywall, you had to spend some money for him, had a huge advantage in Arena for the last 3 months. I had a huge advantage as well. Now, facing other Revan teams can be a nightmare. The mirror matches are a disaster. It's not always easy to win on offense. But within the next upcoming few months, we might be getting a Clone Wars rework, and we're going to get some Old Republic character again. It's either going to be Darth Revan or Darth Malak, and I have a feeling it's going to completely shift the meta. I think Revan will still be viable, but I think we're going to have some more diversity, and I'm excited about it. I mean, here's the thing. Of course I want Darth Revan in the game, but I don't think I want him so close to the original Jedi Knight Revan, because we could have quite a few Revans. We could have Neutral Revan, too. I think I want Darth Malak, and then we can build up to Darth Revan again at some point in time. But you know what? I'm going to be happy either way. And I think that's going to help shifting the meta somewhat. And the thing is what I would really like is for that Malak team, or Revan team, if it's really good, to be countered by a good CLS C-3PO team. Get us a little bit more diversity. Now, I enjoy the Arena because I have Revan. I also have Trey, I'm just not using her. And a lot of people don't, and that frustrates them, and it kind of turns them off from Squad Arena. What I'm saying, add a little bit more diversity somewhat, and I think it'll absolutely be perfect. It'll be huge, and I think that's going to happen. And then later on, if we get a Clone Wars rework with a Grievous rework, and more characters become good and viable, I think that would be amazing. Basically, just diversify the Arena a little bit, but I'm not complaining. I understand why Revan is dominant. He is the best character in the game. Now, let's talk about the raids. A new raid is something that I hope eventually comes to the game. We got the Heroic Sith raid in February of last year. Did it start in March? And it was really, 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 really hard. And finally, I created a guild and we're able to complete it in record time. And the Rancor in AAT, most of us can put teams in and maybe potentially auto it if you have the right characters. But I am looking forward to a new raid because I love the challenge. I love sitting down, even though some people won't like this, and going, man, I'm going to have to farm this squad just to help in the raid. I know that takes away from some priorities, but it helps you diversify in the game. And to complete it, it is such a great feeling when you complete your first Heroic Sith raid. Let me tell you, you feel accomplished. It's like you've been working towards that, and then it just starts rolling after that. And then when you unlock Traya, it gets even better. And I totally hope we get a new raid sometime this year. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a ground raid like this. Maybe we could have a ship raid, maybe have a Death Star raid it doesn't have to be all ships, but maybe a few levels that are ships, and add some more heroic ships to the game. We're going to get there, but with the raids, I thoroughly enjoy them. It really makes the community stronger, because if you are in a good guild, listen, I'm in a guild where I have become very good friends with most of my guild members. Some of them I may not even know what they look like, but we communicate on a daily basis, and we are constantly talking. And what's great is we have different opinions. If somebody disagrees with something, we talk about it, and we'll make a compromise, and that only makes us stronger. And it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to be able to get new things to be able to conquer together as a guild. Now we're going to go to ships, since I briefly talked about them. Ships is a love or hate relationship in the game. I personally love them. A lot of people think they do not get enough love. I hope, with the Millennium Falcon being added, Han's Millennium Falcon, I think that it's going to increase it more. Some people don't like the 3v3 now instead of 5v5. And people might think it's tedious, but I actually enjoy it. I enjoy this aspect of the game because it's another way to get crystals. Crystal acquisition is the way to move forward in the game. And the Sith ships, which I have this theory of that they're going to be required for the Ebon Hawk somehow. Please. I'm farming. You guys, I've said this in a lot of videos. I'm still working on getting the Scoundrel ships up to 7 stars. So the next time the Falcon comes back around, I can get it to 7 stars. And we're starting to diversify a little bit. We now have Admiral Akbar as the main leader in Fleet Arena now, with the Falcon and a Rebel team, and that's great. Again, add some more diversity. The biggest thing I want to see is another capital ship. Thrawn is great. He's not as used anymore since the Falcon came out. But give us Nihilus and the Ravager. Give us Malik or Saul Karath and his ship. Give us Grievous and the Invisible Hand of the Malevolence. The more capital ships, the more people are going to be interested in Arena, because it's going to be able to, again, I use this word a lot, diversify, and people that can run teams that aren't the same teams as everybody else and can theory craft and make it work is what's really going to get people into the Fleet Arena more. When somebody can say, hey, I run a Mace Windu team like we used to run with Anakin and Five's ship. Hey, I run a General Grievous team with some Geonosians and droid fighters, which I hope they add. Diversify it, and it's going to be loved even more. And again, create a raid. Han's Millennium Falcon is so far probably the best legendary ship in the game. Well, let's get it right. Thrawn's capital ship was the best for a while. But add more ships. Maybe give us Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, the Ebon Hawk, please. I probably talk about the Ebon Hawk more than everybody else because I love that ship and I want it at some point in time. Maybe like with Luke's X-Wing or something, you have to do a ship raid to get it. Now, again, ships probably isn't big enough for people to actually be interested in that, but diversify it again, create more, because there's so many characters we have that have ships that just aren't in here. Plenty of time. I understand that, with time restraints and certain things, it's not something that sometimes people focus on, but I really hope the biggest thing, more capital ships and then some heroic ships, and diversify the Fleet Arena even more. Again, so I love Fleet Arena. Some people don't. I know it has a love-hate relationship. Now we're going to talk about Territory Wars and Grand Arena. Kind of go hand in hand, because Territory Wars is guild-based, and I'm going to set my defenses in a few hours here after I'm finished with the video. Being able, again, as a guild, to come together, strategize, and face another guild and win is one of the most satisfying things in the world. Plus, you get rewards for it. You get Zetas, which are in gear, which are... That stuff is amazing. Now, we've actually lost our last 2 Territory Wars. SWGOH is an absolutely amazing... He's kind of our general of Territory Wars. He comes up with the best defenses, best teams, and sometimes we just don't have enough participation. Got to work on getting people in there to make sure they start attacking and stuff like that. But I understand it's hard. Especially when we had, to take away some of the characters or add the buffs to other characters. It can be tricky, but seriously, when you go against a guild with roughly the same power and you come out on top, it is also a great feeling because you accomplish that as a guild. I'm still waiting to be able to take every territory to get that, what is it? You get a certain name or something like that, like General, and once you take down all of their territories. But again, what's great about Territory War and Grand Arena, what I'll get to, is the diversification of teams. I've made videos talking about the solo characters and how they're great. Are they good in Arena? Are they good in raids? No, but they're fantastic in Territory Wars on defense. A lot of characters that are not utilized in any other aspect of the game are able to be utilized here in Territory Wars and Grand Arena and help you progress. The deeper your roster with good geared characters, the better you're going to be at this. And that's why I enjoy it. It forces you to really start looking at other characters. And again, Territory Wars, great. One of their best additions to the game. Now, my favorite addition in probably, well, man, a long time, I actually like it more than Territory War, is Grand Arena. The ability to look at your galactic power, which we might want to maybe work on that somewhat. The biggest thing that there's some people that have 3.2 million galactic power that have all characters at gear 10, and the other person will have like Revan, Treya, CLS, JTR, Night Sisters. They'll have them all at gear 12, but not as many characters, and it's a big disadvantage for the character that has person that has 3.2 million with, you know, all average characters. But again, that's kind of a double-edged sword, because what do we want to change with that? Because GP is a pretty decent, you know, way to look at things. It's all about your prioritization. If somebody prioritizes the meta teams over looking for everybody else, you know, they're kind of going to deserve to win in that situation. And don't overinflate your rosters. Take mods off people you don't using. Don't level up characters you don't need to. But again, the ability to face off against another team, set defenses, change it up. You do 5v5, you do 3v3, you do ships. The 3v3 is amazing because there's so many different combos that people are still figuring out that are going to be able to help you win. And it is literally your head-to-head against somebody. And it is satisfying to come out on top. I got 4th in my last Grand Arena. Yes, I lost because I tied with a person, and the person I tied with, I think it was they had a lower galactic power, and with the lower galactic power, I think that's what it was. Or maybe it was higher. I think it was lower. Got the win, and we both had 1447. He got the win, and then he actually won the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I could have won that. Like, one of my first losses. But hey, I learned that I can't go in and face a General Kenobi Zeres team with, like, what was it, Jolie, that had Zetas on them with an average team. I saved them for last, thinking that I'll be able to take these guys out. It was a timeout all the time. With the cleanse, when you get critically hit, you recover health. With revives, it was so frustrating. But now I know how I'm going to have to face that. In the diversification of teams was absolutely fantastic, and we're learning it more and more. So Grand Arena, I love it. I love adding it to the game. I hope to be facing maybe face some people I know, maybe like go against some other YouTubers or some people from my guild. That would be awesome, actually. The other game mode I haven't talked about is Territory Battles. Actually, I enjoy that as well because it's an easy way to be able to get, I gotta actually go here, the Guild Event Store, which again, if you haven't farmed Hermit Yoda and Wampa, please get them to 7 stars. They're amazing characters and something I should have done a lot earlier. But the Guild Events currency allows you to get these Gear 12 pieces, which extremely, in fact, I'm going to do this right now. Some people are wondering, why don't you just save it? Because I have quite a bit stored up now that I'm using it, not using it on Yoda and Wampa. And the gear, the characters, if you don't have them, and the Gear 12 is amazing. And actually, Territory Battles take some coordination too. We have not completely gotten all the stars in the Rebel Assault or Imperial Assault yet. I think maybe soon we'll be able to get that. We need some more people with some Rogue One teams. The Probe Droid finally getting to 7 stars, and I hope to actually complete that and get the 48 and the 45 stars, which will be amazing. So Territory Battles, something I greatly enjoy in the game as well. It's nice to switch up. You get rewards for it as well, and that is a lot of fun. Events, as always, I like the events that they add. And you know, we talking about the events that they've had. Let's actually get into this. Chewie, 3PO. What was outstanding about Chewie? And again, this is my opinion. I liked how difficult that event was. And here's the thing about it. Bounty hunters were able to be farmed for the longest time. If you chose to farm them, it was much easier with Bosk, but I know people that did it with just Boba, Greedo, Dengar, Cad Bane, IG-88, and you chose to gear them up, you were going to have an advantage. This wasn't like Revan where it's, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to pay money to get these characters to 7 stars. If you prioritize bounty hunters throughout the game, as long as you've been playing it, you are going to get a better chance to have Chewie at 7 stars. Chewie's a great character. I hope he can somehow become more meta like he was for 2 weeks. And he's obviously helpful with the Millennium Falcon. So if you chose to have bounty hunters geared up, you were going to be able to get Chewie. Albeit it was very tricky, but I like the hard events. I like going through it 50 times and getting frustrated until finally you have that moment where, yes, it's going to work! I did it with the Bosk lead and I was so excited. And then the same thing with 3PO. Ewoks. Did I ever think I would farm Ewoks? No, I did not. But they were able to farm for the longest time, and if people chose to farm them, you were going to have a heads up on being able to get 3PO to 7 stars, which is great. I didn't even have low gray. It's a lot easier to do it with low gray. I ran with Chief Chirpa, Ewok Elder, Paplu Wicked, and Tebow, and I was able to get him to 7 stars. 3PO is a character that I'm still working on using and learning to use, and he is so helpful in the raids. Oh my gosh, he's amazing. And he's going to be, I think when there's more resistance characters come out, if they do, I think that we're going to see him be used even more. Now let's talk about the characters. Characters that we have, amazing. Revan, Traya, CLS, Jedi Training Rey. These are great characters. Thrawn's still my favorite character in the game. He's probably one of the best overall characters in the game still with his utilization. And they continue to add new characters all the time, and I absolutely love it. Now, a lot of people, we had a lot of marquee events at the beginning and middle of 2018, and then we got some more legendary events and a Hero's Journey event. What could come in the future with characters? They can go anywhere, which is why I think this game is going to be able to keep going for the longest time. And the Star Wars universe is so wide, expanded, so in-depth that they can add anybody. I can't wait till the Old Republic online game, where that's where you had Malgus, Satil Shan, Valkorion, the one character I want the most in the game. You know, all the Darth Mar, all those characters from that time period, they can be added to the game. They're powerful Sith, powerful Jedi. Then, how about First Order characters? I still kind of look forward to the Praetorian Guards. I think when Episode 9 comes out, I want Snoke. We really don't know how powerful he actually is. I think he's super powerful. You can add Darth Plagueis to the game. Darth Bane. Please add Darth Bane. I hope when the Clone Wars rework comes out, we get Ki-Adi-Mundi and Adi Gallia and Shaak Ti. There are so many characters to add. And since they use some of the characters from the expanded universe or Legends, they can go anywhere, which is amazing. So that's why I don't think this game is going to die, because there's always going to be new characters to come out. Probably one of the characters I want the most right now is Hondo. Please give me Hondo Onaka. I think he'd be an amazing scoundrel smuggler leader, and I actually love him as a character. He's so darn funny in Rebels. It's amazing. Now, do we know when they're going to probably have us go to Gear 13? No, but I am dreading that day. Gear 13 will be a disaster. The mod system. They gave us a mod rework since last year. The ability to, instead of going to SWGOH.gg, you can filter your mods, you can sort the mods, you can find them, you can assign loadouts. You can take mods to 6 dots, which I actually really enjoy because it takes your character to the next level. You can mod them with extra offense, extra speed, whatever you want, and it makes them that much more powerful. I love to have characters like Revan, Raid Han, where I have all Gear 12 pieces on them, and with 6-dot mods, all the Zetas, he is maxed out. He really can't get any higher. Speaking of which, I'm going to be making a mod video soon on how they're calculating the percentages of speed and base stats. It's a little different than people thought, but we're going to have a good talk about that. And mods is something I enjoy, again, because it's different with each person. Each person, a lot of people can have Revan. And Revan's going to be Revan, he's going to be great. But what makes the characters unique is how you mod them, how you decide to use them. A lot of people put pure speed set on Revan to get him as fast as possible. I enjoy putting the offensive set on him. Now they have great speed. I have 293 speed. A lot of the speed in my arena is like 310 though, so he's not going to go first. But this extra damage, I enjoy it. That's the way that I use him. And that's, again, the diversification of mods in the game with each individual is what makes you unique, because everybody can have a certain character, but how are you going to Zeta him, mod him, and use him is what makes the difference. Galactic War, do we really talk about Galactic War much anymore? No, because you're able to sim it. And, so, that's pretty simple. Now, what is a few things I would like added? I honestly would like more characters added to be farmed from the Galactic War store. Okay, we've had the same characters in here since like a year and a half ago when they put the Phoenix characters in here. Let's see, where is Zeb? Zeb's been in here. They haven't changed it since then. The Cantina store, they haven't added any new characters in here since the Phoenix characters. Throw us a bone, put a few more characters in here. I think that would be outstanding. Maybe, one character that's pretty darn good that people can farm. Throw in like a Jango Fett or something like that. And then let's talk about a few other things I think we could add. What would be the one thing I actually would have the most fun with? I understand this would be extremely hard to add, but it is my opinion. If you could do a head-to-head PvP against somebody, where it's, I'm going to go and battle you right now, you're going to go and battle me right now, almost like a sandbox mode, where I'm going to say, hey, SWGOH, you're in my guild, you have the most, one of the biggest galactic powers ever. Let's battle, let's see how we can do. And then we obviously are both happening to play at the same time. We each have to take a turn and figure it out. I think that would be so much fun because it would make literal PvP more relevant. I don't know if you could base it off of prizes somehow. I understand that's what they kind of are trying to do in Grand Arena, which is great. Again, I love Grand Arena, but actual alive PvP going on, I think would be amazing. A few things that they also added that I like is, I think they should do this more as well, is something I've talked about before, is when they drop a character on a node and they also drop the ship at the same time. When you farm Kylo Ren Unmasked, you also get his TIE Silencer. And I didn't want to forget saying that, so I kind of went off topic. But that's kind of the nodes that I like, and that's pretty cool. So, what do you guys look forward to in the future? I look forward to more characters. I know we're going to have marquees. I know we're going to have Hero's Journey and Legendary events. What do you guys think is next? What is the state of the game in your opinion? The state of the game, in my opinion, is strong. It's amazing. Now, again, a few people don't like it because of the Revan meta, and it's not very diversified. Again, I'm using that word. But with what they've added to the game, the new characters, the ability to, mod characters your own way, everything that I've talked about makes this game even better. When was probably the time in the game that I probably thought it was maybe the most dull is when CLS had come out, and you had like that 4, 5, 6 month period where he was the dominant person in Arena, and there really wasn't much else. You maybe had a Rex team or a Palpatine team at the time, and things were just kind of slow. Then they kind of listened to the player base and said, okay, we're going to pick this up a little bit. And again, add a little bit more diversification to Arena, and I think people are going to be so much happier. And again, I know, we're going to have to pay for certain characters. That's how you make money, and people are going to do it even when they're frustrated. I know I do at times. But honestly, this game is part of my life. I started a YouTube channel because of it. I play this daily, sometimes hours daily. Sometimes I'll just sit here, click on my characters, and scroll through all of them. And I'll click on the mods of each character going, I wonder if I should change one of Wicket's mods. Is Wicket important? And I'll do that for literally hours on end, thinking about what I can do to make it better. What is my next Zeta going to be? All of this stuff. And it literally, it's the time of the day where I'm calm, I'm at peace, I'm relaxed, and I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. Because Star Wars is something that's important to me. It helped me growing up. I was a high anxiety person, and I would always go pop in Star Wars every night, and I would watch the movies. We had this, me and my brother had this one where we recorded all the movies back to back to back, 4, 5, and 6. We would rewind it and play it for days straight. And every time I watched it, I would relax, and I would just be able to be at peace. And this game brings the same thing. In a society where electronics are used quite a bit, maybe more than we should, this is the thing that I look forward to and thoroughly enjoy. And the people I've met, the people I talk to, and where I'm going to go from here is only going to get better. So yes, the state of the game, in my opinion, has never been better, and I think it's only going to get better. But I want to know what you think. What are your opinions? Do you think it's good or do you think it's bad? What can make it better? Give me some ideas as well. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please smash the subscribe button, like the video, click the notification bell so you can be alerted to all the videos that I post. I'm leaving a link to my Discord server and Patreon page in the description below. Please make sure to check that out and leave comments in the comment section. Like I said, your comments keep me going. You give me video ideas. And if you disagree with something, don't be afraid to give some constructive criticism. There's a difference between trolls, people that just are mean and just say dumb stuff, to actually somebody saying, you know what, I disagree with you. Let's take a look at it this way, because I'm not always right. But I also am smart enough to know that when I am wrong, I need to listen to some other people as well. So please, the comment section is huge. And share the page if you want. Let's get some more subscribers. Otherwise, peace out, and may the Force be with you.
The Force is strong with you.